Hello, I'm Flunt, and welcome back to some more Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Last time, we slayed a crate dragon. Also, we found a star map. This time, we gotta get rid of some Gizka, and I couldn't remember exactly how I was supposed to do that. I remember there was, like, a couple of things you had to do that were weird. So I looked it up, and actually it's pretty simple. You talk to this guy, and you buy the Gizka poison from him. This also ends up letting us look at his stock because I hadn't done that. Alright. Yeah, this is horribly, horribly expensive. Maybe that one's worth it. Bothron sensory visor, maybe. Actually, that's pretty good. Wow, that's really good. Why does that only cost 150? That's really good. I'll buy one of those. That's also really good, but that's really expensive. That's decent. That's pretty good against Force users. That's okay. Stealth field generator, obviously, that's okay. Retinal combat implant. That's pretty good if you have an implant. Nerve enhancement package. That's decent. That's pretty good for an implant. Gizka poison. Buying it. And you could buy Bantha fodder here if you didn't pick one up off of a Tusken Raider. Alright, let's go ahead and go back onto our ship. Alright, we see the Gizka. We'll deal with them in a moment. Are they bipedal? We're going to go ahead and do our workbench stuff because we got some stuff that goes in a lightsaber. We want to come here. We can... Bondar, I think, is the one that... what is Bondar? No, we want to keep that one. It's this one. That is Sigil. That's 1 to hit and 1 die 6 additional damage versus the Crate Dragon Pearl, which is plus 3 to hit, plus 2 damage. I'm actually not sure that's worth the trade-off on this particular weapon. However, if I come to Bastila's double-bladed one, we have the Rubat, which is plus 1 to hit, plus 1 damage. Replace that with a Crate Dragon Pearl, plus 3 to hit, plus 2 damage. That's really good. The Opila here, that's pretty good if you do Keen. It's plus 3 damage and additional crits. If you combine that with, say, the Nextor, that's... Well, the Nextor doubles your crit range. If you're using a normal bladed lightsaber, that goes from 1 in 10 to 1 in 5 crit, and whenever you crit, you do an additional 2 die 6 on top of whatever the normal crit damage is, and you're already doing 3 additional damage from this. So, yeah, if you are playing that kind of character, Nextor Crystal and Opula Crystal on a single lightsaber would be phenomenal. I happen to not be doing that. No, yeah. What? Plus 3? What's the Rubat? It's plus 1. Alright, yeah. No. Yeah. I don't think I hit. Rubat. Rubat is plus 1. We'll replace that with the Crate Dragon Pearl. Assemble. Armor. Upgrade items. Nothing here to upgrade. Mail and there's not going to be anything to upgrade. Like, objectively, it is... Slightly better to use that. Alright. Fair enough. Now, let's do something about our Gizka problem here. Do these things look like the, what was the name of that game? It was like a Flash game that was popular with kids whenever I was a kid. Was it Adventure Quest? Was that the name of the game? These look like the weird... I don't know what they were called. I don't remember what they were called. That was so long ago. I'll feed it the poison. Get off my ship. Technically, you could have someone buy them, but you have to, like, force him to buy them, and extortion doesn't feel good to me. Alright, now we're gonna go to Manaan. That's Dantooine. That's Korriban. That's Kashyyyk. That's Yavin. Manaan! Yeah, we're gonna go to Manaan. Pre-rendered cutscenes.
Calo Nord is dead, Lord Malak. He has failed in his mission. Forgive me.
The penalty for failure is death, Admiral Kareth. But the failure was Calo's, not yours. You may rise.
Shall I hire another bounty hunter, Lord Malak?
No mere bounty hunter can stand against a Jedi. I shall not make the same mistake again. My apprentice, Darth Bandon, shall take care of our young Jedi friend. Find Bastila and bring her to me, alive, if possible.
As you command, Master.
It is strange that anyone would have built a star map here. The entire surface of Manaan is covered by nothing but vast oceans.
Alright, before I continue this, I'm just gonna... I don't know how this is gonna come through in recording. I just had the weirdest pseudo soft lock, where I stared at a loading screen for like 2 minutes and tried to close out the game, and as soon as I try to close out the game, it starts playing the next cutscene that it's supposed to play. I don't know how this is going to look on recording. It probably won't look all that good. I apologize for that. It's just really weird. Maybe there's some kind of like speedrunner that knows how to take advantage of that. It looked like the star map was underwater. I didn't actually get to see that cutscene. It didn't show it to me.
The ocean floor is vast, and much of it is uncharted, even by the native Selkath. But how could Revan and Malak have found their way down? No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
I'm pretty sure we're supposed to go somewhere here alone. We got a while before we do that. For now, though, let's just go ahead and leave. Also, all the Gizka are gone. I did poison them. They did go away. I'm not sure I got anything for that. Alright. Do we even have Zalbar? We don't even have Zalbar in our party. I'll need to go get him again. Apparently he's still stuck on Kashyyyk. Let's take Bastila. No, sorry. Add, and then add mission. Yes. And then I need to level up mission, of course. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Level up. Skills. Stealth, security, demolitions, repair. Easy choices. Except sneak attack 7. Wow, she's going to do a lot of sneak attack damage.
Sure.
Nope. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. Alright. As per usual, let's take a quick look around, see if we have anything that we can... I believe the polite word is borrow from the docking bay. No, there is nothing here that we can, once again, politely borrow.
You Republic people are so pathetic, sitting around groveling at the table scraps the Galactic Senators deign to give you. It makes me sick.
The Senators work for the good of the whole galaxy, not for individual gain.
Ha! Don't make me laugh, you gutless simp. It's the destiny of weak-minded fools like you to be ruled over by the strong, like we Sith.
I'm warning you. Don't push me or you'll get just what you're asking for.
Try it. Just try it. I'd love to see you throw the first punch. And with all the cameras around the Selkath would be all over you inside of 30 seconds. You break their laws. You pay the price, Republic scum. But I can see that you're not man enough to back up your words anyway. If you ever feel like relieving yourself of your worthless existence, feel free to come by our enclave here. We have many, many ways to fulfill your wish.
Yeah, what are you... Oh, I apologize, Master Jedi. I should not have been rude.
It's alright.
No, really, I should apologize. I should try to control myself, as you Jedi do. Is there anything I can help you with?
Never mind. I must go.
Of course. If you have any other questions, you should probably see Roland Wan. He's the Republic diplomat here. He's by the Republic Enclave near the visitor residences. Oh, if you don't know where that is, go north from here, then south past the port official in the first courtyard, east into the second courtyard, then north, then east again. You got that? Have a pleasant stay, Master Jedi.
If that didn't give you a hint to the fact that this is just a really, really large, complicated area, it should have. Bastila seems to have something on her mind. Perhaps you should talk to her about it. Speak to Bastila.
How can I help?
I'd like to know more about you, Bastila.
Yes, I suppose I can understand your curiosity, given the bond that connects us. Very well. I'll tell you a bit about myself.
Tell me how you joined the Jedi, then.
I was found to be strong with the Force at a young age, as most Padawans are. As a girl, I was given to the Order to be trained. When I joined the Order, I left my family on Tal Ravan, as all Padawans do. My family is still there, the last that I heard. I've had little contact with them, as it is discouraged.
Discouraged? Why?
Relationships with family members are fraught with powerful emotions. Such extremes are to be avoided. Anger and hate are the worst, but even love can lead to folly.
Don't you miss your family at all?
Like all who join the Order, I have learned to embrace the life I've chosen. I had to let go of my attachments to my family.
That must have been difficult.
It can be a hard lesson to learn. I was not on good terms with all of my family, but I do remember missing my father terribly for a long time.
You and your father were close?
Very close. I was only a little girl when I left my family, but I still remember him fondly. He was kind and gentle and doted on me. My mother, however, was different. I was not on good terms with my mother. I was only a little girl when I left, but I was old enough to resent her and the way she treated my father. She pushed my father into treasure hunting. I spent all my young life on ships, traveling from one false lead to the next. She whittled away my father's entire fortune, and I hated her for it. I think she was relieved to give me to the Jedi, but my father was heartbroken.
You never tried to get in touch with your father again?
A child is too young to understand the sacrifices that must be made. It's better if they have no contact with their family once they're removed. Once I was older, I realized the wisdom of this policy. A Jedi must do what is needed, personal desires notwithstanding. Love can only obscure and confuse the matter.
You sound very sad when you say that.
Even a Jedi cannot always control the feelings of the heart. We must do our best to guard against it, no matter what the cost. But some sacrifices are harder than others. I do not wish to discuss this anymore. I would rather return to our mission.
All right. I actually think it'd be worse to for her to have left without being on tolerable terms with other members of her family, simply because that would more likely lead to her having terrible behavior in ways that her missing her father probably wouldn't. There's a merchant here. We could talk to him. I guess for completion's sake, I probably should do so. Let me see your inventory. Yeah, this seems pretty standard. Anything that it's... No, nothing cool. There is absolutely nothing cool here. Alright. So I gotta say here, the modeling and texturing on the Selkath is really, really good. The rigging for this game is atrocious either way, but the modeling is and texturing it's phenomenal. Like, look at this. Look at this guy. That looks great. I got a lot of respect for the people that did the modeling and texturing for this. This is phenomenal. All right, can I go here? Is it all? Okay. Oh, that's just telling me that there's some Sith soldiers here. What happens if I talk to them?
Time to listen to your stories. I've got a full shipment of Colto ready to load before my shift is over.
Okay. What about you?
We've got all the proper Colto trading permits, so back off.
Okay. I guess that's everything over here. We can go that way, or we can continue going this way. Let's see what's over this way. I'm pretty sure we get jumped in one of these docking bays. And considering this is the last docking bay, I'm gonna guess it's here. Nope. Security clearance required, and I don't have that. Maybe I could force someone to give it to me. I don't know. Alright, so we do know at least then where we need to go, and that is right there. Right there. And this is apparently west, even though it's south. Sometimes I don't understand the directions here. Visitors area. We got some security droids. A guy here. I can't remember what these guys are called. Who are you? Okay, he's a Pazak player. Not right now.
Kyogaku!
Alright, another door. Oh, this is trippy. Alright. Selkath. I can't read that word. Port official. What are the rules exactly? I understand. Very well. Here's the docking fee. Yeah, I figure they're not Zerka. I'm fine with paying them. Some more Selkath. Let's see what's this way. Distribution Center. Kolto Distribution Center. What is Kolto? Sith soldiers. Got some Jedi people around. Or Republic people, not Jedi. Was that a name? Traveler. No, it's not a name. Well, probably not a name. Naming someone Traveler is probably not the best idea. West Courtyard. This is Otto West. Elora.
I was told that you're a friend of Jolie Bindo, and that Jolie has returned to the sector. Please, I must speak to him. It's very urgent.
Why do you need to speak to Jolie?
My name is Elora. My husband, Sunry, and Jolie are old friends. Now Sunry needs Jolie's help.
I shall tell Jolie immediately.
Please, I beg you to bring Jolie to speak to me about my husband. Sunry's life depends on it.
I'll be back with Jolie. Actually, that's pretty easy. I'm going to go ahead and level up Jolie before we do this. Awareness. Powers. He's going to throw a Force Armor. And he's going to throw Destroy Droid. Okay. And he's on Dread-Eye Droid support, whatever.
Yes?
Alright, now let's try this.
Jolie, it is you. I need your help.
Laura, of all the people, how did you even know I'd left Kashyyyk?
I didn't. Nobody knew where you were, not even Sunry. But I heard the Selkath mention you and your friends. The Force has brought you to help us.
Why? Whatever could be the matter, my dear?
It's horrible, Jolie. Sunry has been arrested. The Sith have accused him of murder.
Murder? But how?
It's all a mistake, Jolie. Sunry isn't a murderer. Someone is trying to frame him.
Calm down, Elora. Where's Sunry now?
Sunry's being held at the Selkath courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkath will listen to you.
Don't worry, Elora. We'll get to the bottom of this and help Sunry. Somehow.
Okay. That went from 0 to 60 very, very fast. I think we go this way to get to the courts.
The Republic respects the peace of Otto City, Your Honor. But the Sith are a violent people who leave violence in their wake. I have 3 soldiers in the infirmary.
If the Republic soldiers were more capable, they would not have suffered such serious injuries. Are my soldiers to be punished simply because they won a fair fight?
I hardly call 6 against 3 a fair fight. The Sith are cowards who attack only when they have the advantage of numbers. They were provoked, Your Honor. The Sith goaded them into this fight.
Okay, let's talk to the judge. I would like to investigate the murder case involving Sunry.
I suppose you're Sunry's only hope. We have to at least try to help him. Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious.
Okay. All right. Is there anything suspicious about this case? What do you think of Sunry? I have no more questions for now. Alright, so he was described as crippled, right? And we're just now being told that he was running away? Do they mean running colloquially, or do they mean actually running? Because that is a relevant discrepancy. I really hope that ends up not being a major issue. Is there anything suspicious about this case? What do you think of Sunry? That's not helpful. The first guy gave me helpful information. The second guy, you're useless. You shouldn't be a judge. I have questions about the trial. Is there anything suspicious about this case?
Simply because it was real does not mean Sunry would have overlooked it being in Elassa's hand.
What do you think of Sunry?
Speaking of that injury, has it been taken into consideration, Your Honor?
I have no more questions for now. Alright, so Sunry has been crippled, but it's not so bad that it hinders him in any way, so he's not actually crippled. Talking to him's going to be very helpful. What do you think of Sunry? Alright, this guy is way too impartial with regard to the conflict between the Republic and the Sith. He should not be a judge, or at least he should excuse himself from this particular case. I need you to excuse yourself from this case because you're clearly not trustworthy in it. That being said, the victim was shot from behind, okay? That means that there is not really a way that this woman could have been holding on to an emblem of the Republic unless it was in her hand before she was shot or it was placed there after she was shot. She didn't get it off of her shooter because her shooter was behind her. It's kind of hard to reach behind you and grab something from them. So most likely that was either placed evidence or she was already holding it for one reason or another. I all of a sudden do not think that that is relevant evidence that she is holding it. though it is evidence of potentially a framing. Is there anything suspicious about this case? What do you think of Sunry? I have no more questions for now. Okay, so 3 of the 5 judges here need to not be involved in this case at all, and 2 of those 3 shouldn't be judges at all. They are not impartial. They make no pretense of being impartial. I don't think they're
If it
capable of
weren't
it.
for the Republic, Manaan would already be under Sith control. But we haven't heard one word of thanks from the Selkath.
You're not helping. I guess I'll talk
If it
to you.
weren't for the Republic, Manaan would already be under Sith control.
You say the same thing
But we
again.
haven't heard one word of thanks from the Selkath.
You're not helping.
One day soon, the Selkath will pay for the indignities they have inflicted on the Sith.
Okay, you are helping me. Keep saying stuff like that. That's totally going to win you friends in this case. All right, let's go find the where are
I
you?
hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunry's trial. My husband is innocent. Please don't let him go to jail for a crime he didn't commit.
Can you tell me anything about Sunry?
Sunry is... he's a cripple. There's no way he could have overpowered this Sith woman like they claim.
That's true. I'd forgotten about that. Let's not forget that he would have to have been considerably older than this Sith woman.
Are you saying someone your age couldn't overpower a woman?
I'm a Jedi, and one who is living alone in the Shadowlands until recently. That keeps you in shape, damn it. We're talking about Sunry here.
And there's no way he would do something so dishonorable as hit her from behind. Sunry's a decorated war hero. He's a hero of the Republic.
Don't worry, Alora. I'll save him.
Find the real evidence. That's all I ask. The real evidence will prove Sunry didn't do this.
I would like to point out that Sunry's age relative to the victim would have essentially a negligible effect on his ability to overpower her. The upper body strength difference between men and women is very, very large on average. The average 80-year-old man is about as strong as the average 30-year-old woman. That being said, him being crippled would, in fact, make it a lot harder for him to get leverage for any kind of assault. This is the warden, isn't it? Yeah.
Jolie, what are you doing here? Alora sent me, Sunry. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case.
Just like old times, eh, Jolie? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire?
You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case.
The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. Or so I thought. But the Cellcasts seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed.
I need to investigate the case some more. Any ideas where to look?
Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. The Cellcath already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with offworlders. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But I think you'd be better off investigating the Sith themselves. Maybe you could find some proof they planted evidence to frame me. Though that might mean figuring out a way into the Sith embassy. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial.
I'll be going now.
Very well. I suppose there is still much you must do before the trial. Once you've gotten enough evidence to go to trial, just tell the warden we're ready. The sooner I get out of the cell, the better.
All right, so he's standing here, which means either describing him as a cripple is not accurate, or he this is a limitation of the engine, and he's supposed to be sitting down. And the annoying thing is, I can't flippantly say one way or the other. I wish I could.
So, do we have a deal?
That's an awful lot of money. Is there something you're not telling me?
Don't be so suspicious. The Republic is generous. We pay our mercenaries well.
Makes sense, I guess. All right, I'm in. When do I start?
Just show up at the Republic Embassy tomorrow and speak to our representative there. I'm sure he'll have some task he wants you to start on right away.
Well, that's not suspicious at all. All right, I gotta figure out where that hotel is. That's obviously not the hotel. You know, I was told I had limited time, but I'm not sure I actually do. There's a fight gonna go down
Precious
here.
Republic's days are numbered. It won't be long until Malak turns his armada loose on Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malak isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The galactic senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malak's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malak could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
That's the general store. Not helpful in this case. I like how the Cellcath are just letting everyone in my party, at least, run around completely armed. That's the Republic Embassy there. This door leads to a place. Visitors Hotel. That's actually what I wanted to see. Ignis.
You are the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want, too.
Tell me what you saw the night of the murder.
The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. Couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good 'cause he's a cripple. but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure he left after the shot went off.
Could it have gone off after he left?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court.
Alright, I want to ask something else.
What do you want to know?
What do you know about Sunry and Alasa?
Alasa used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunry would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Tell me who are the witnesses in the hotel?
There were only 2 other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Glupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally I don't let his kind in here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Feareth Me. He's a Pazak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know?
I have no more questions for now.
Well, okay. If you need anything else, I'm gonna be right here.
So let's talk about Darth Bandon. That is a very, very uninspiring name. It's not scary at all. Feareth Me.
You with the Selkath? You here to see me about the murder, too? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you all want from me?
What do you know about Sunry and Alasa?
Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Alasa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics, usually.
You mean Sunry was having a relationship with Alasa?
I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room, in private, is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith Master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself.
Sith Master?
Well, Alasa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything.
What did you see?
Well, one time, I saw Alasa coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course. And her cloak fell open. Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Alasa had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest.
She was a dark Jedi?
Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll testify it to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me.
That's fair. Alright. What's in this footlocker? Credits. I'll just take them, I guess. Alright, so I think that her master found out about her weird affair and decided to shoot her and frame the guy. That is what it seems like to me at this point. Maybe later my opinion will change. There's a door there. I'll need mission to open this.
Gotcha. Simple.
Sure.
Just a footlocker? Med pack? Interesting.
Yeah?
You're in my way.
Sure.
You're also in my way. Everything is in my way. Glupor.
Chiki kun selkap, chona mulira tong glupor, glupor kinba no kun yek lorcha.
I have questions about the murder of Alasa.
Glupor tong hit wana ji selkap agi inko tune, glupor mulira, chuna mulira, tong glupor kitpa non kun yek sit abog.
Why were you at the hotel?
Glupor yon tung chiwi ita. Bola un chikne mulira glupor, kon muli slimo pui wanga kun viskin. Glupor kinpa nikcha lora kun.
So he's peeping. That's it. That's what's going on here.
Grupor chi ita kanki chana kilikon. Grupor nibo jimata wipun nage. Tong abag sunsham u grupor ninong. Grupor tong hit wama ji selkat ag inko tune. Tong kinba no kun nikset abag.
What about Alassa's room?
Grupor pichage borang turang. Grupor wanki yuma batmalyo no wish. Grupor no una pankpa mulira kongking.
Did someone pay you to do something in that room, Glupor?
Kun mulira slimo poiwanga kun makachisa Grupor. Tong abog sinshan Grupor ninong kili. Grupor chiwa aita kang kicha na selkat. Grupor nibo mulira Grupo ni umsit. Grupor siya. Grupor pampa ki mulira kun king. Grupor chachopa si chawa wish kun kun. Grupor bagra shak konti cha umyoman. Tong itselkat wama jiko na. Grupor ag inkotune. Grupor no molira, chuna mulira, tong pa no kun, no nek. Grupor chachopa. Grupor bagwa shank konti machid Grupor nada chawa yishun kun.
I think that Glupor needs to go into protective custody. Okay, mission, you're in my way again.
Sure.
Alright, and I can't interact with this door at all, can I? Alright, so Glupor interacting with the body definitely creates enough plausible deniability that it's impossible to say that Sunri murdered the woman.
You, Jedi, I hear you are investigating the Sunri murder trial, are you not? This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface.
What do you mean?
This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. Sunri and Elassa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes?
I think so? Kinda?
I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies.
Why should I believe you?
Because you have no one else to trust. Not Sunri, not the witnesses, and certainly not the judges. And if you take my advice, what have you to lose? Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
Wisdom, indeed. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and continue this next time. We learned quite a bit. I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.